I will start from where I left off in the last part. In this part, I'll try to model the clothes and the hair, also the eyes inside the goggles. Alright, let's start. Select the body, then press tab to go to edit mode, go to the front view, then go to wireframe. We want to select all the faces that matches with the reference of the clothes. So press 3 to go to face select, then press C to go to circle select mode. Now you can press your left mouse key and hover over the faces and that will select them like that. Press escape in order to go out of circle select mode and rotate around the model like that. Press C and select the other parts like that. Alright, go to the front view and go to the wireframe. Press B for box select and try to select all the vertices so that you are sure that everything is selected. If you selected some vertices by mistake like that and you want to remove them, press B for box select, then press shift and hold, then highlight the parts you want to remove and that will remove that selection. Go to solid view, press shift D to duplicate this part, press escape to snap back to its position, then press P and separate by selection. Alright, press tab to go to object mode. Now select the clothes and scale them out by pressing S like that, so they are bigger than the body like that. As you can see here, there is still some parts of the body showing from the cloth. So press tab to go to edit mode, press A to select everything, press G, then X. As you can see now that this edge loop is starting to cross over to the other side. That's because we don't have clipping enabled in the mirror modifier. So press that and that will make sure that this edge will never cross to the other side. Alright, now press G, then X and move them until the body is hidden like that. Okay, let's go to the right side, select the clothes, then go to edit mode and go to wireframe view. Let's try and match the cloth, these vertices with the reference. So select this vertex, move it around here, press Alt and select this edge loop, press GG and move it up so that the upper vertices is supported like that. Press Ctrl R and add another edge loop around here to support this edge and do the same thing with the front. Okay, as you can see, this part or this vertex is now going through the body, so let's move it on the x-axis a little and pull it away like that. Let's try and curve the cloth a little because right now they are very hard edged. So select this vertex, press Ctrl, then press this vertex and that will select this vertex and everything in between. Okay, and try to move it. Make sure that you have proportion editing on so that you move it proportionally with all the vertices around it and try to move it like that. And this part as well. Let's select these two vertices and pull them on the y-axis. Let's select this vertex and move it up in order to be on the same level as these edges here as well. Let's add a new edge loop, Ctrl R and put it around here. Select this vertex and press V on your keyboard and that will split this vertex into two vertices. V again and that will split it one more time. Let's merge these two vertices back, select one of them, then select the other one by pressing shift, press Alt M and that will get you the merge menu. Press add first and that will merge the last vertex that you have selected to the first one. Press 2 for edge select, then select this edge, press E to extrude out and move it away from it like that, then move it back behind this front part of the cloth. Alright, as you can see now there is some weird artifact here that's easily fixed by adding a solidify modifier. Go to the modifiers tab, collapse these two modifiers and add a solidify. Okay, what will that do is that it will add a small thickness for the mesh of the cloth. In order to have this thickness to scale with the mesh in the viewport, you have to apply the scale of the model, as right now it's scaled up and its scale is multiplied by 0.75 in the X and Y and Z. So in order to apply those and return them to 1, you need to press Ctrl A to apply and then select scale, and that will get all the scale to 1 and that will make the thickness of the solidify to scale. Let's pull it up above the subdivision modifier, go to edit mode and select these vertices and push them away like that. And also maybe increase the thickness a little bit. If you press and move your mouse, it will increase the thickness. If you press shift, it will slow down the increments and you can increase it a little bit. Let's try and make the edges of the cloth a little sharper, but this time we'll do it with the solidify modifier. If you see here, there is options for crease, inner and outer. If you increase the inner to about 0.5 and the outer to 0.5, you will see that the edges are now a little bit sharper. Let's try to relax this part a bit because it's starting to sharpen out because the edges are too close to each other. So select this vertex maybe and push it up like that, and these vertex and push them like that by pressing GG. Okay, let's try and add the pocket in front here. So go to the front view, press tab to go to edit mode, press Z and go to wireframe, select the front vertex and press GG and pull it up until it's matching with the top of the pocket in the reference and the bottom one, and match it as well. In order to work in the middle of the model like that, I need to apply the mirror modifier in order to work on the two parts at the same time. So press tab to go to object mode and apply the mirror modifier. Okay, press 2 to go to edge select, then select this middle edge here and press Ctrl B, and that will split this edge into two edges like that. Okay, put it around here, go to wireframe and then scale it on the x-axis like that and try to match it with the reference. Press 3 for face select and then select this face, press I and that will insert it inside like that. Press Ctrl R and add an edge loop in the center, press escape and that will snap it in the middle. Press 1 for vertex select. Let's merge these two vertices by selecting both of them and press Alt M, then select at last. Let's do the same thing with these, Alt M, at last. As you can see, because we pivoted an edge from the middle of the model like that, we have created faces here that are not exactly quads. Quads meaning that each face contains 4 vertices, but because we have splitted this edge into 2 edges, that has created faces with 5 vertices. So in order to fix that, we need to add an edge loop around here and link it with this vertex. Why we need the quads is because it makes things better with the animation in the next step. So you probably always need your model to be containing quads and not faces of 5 vertices or more. You can get by with faces that has 3 vertex, but try to limit those faces. Alright, press Ctrl R and add an edge loop here, select these 2 vertices and then press J, and that will put an edge in between them and will link them together. Okay, press Ctrl R and add an edge loop here, select these 2 vertices and press J. What that did is it split in these 2 faces into a quad. Each one of them contains 4 vertices. Alright, let's do the same thing with those faces. Press Ctrl R and add an edge loop here and another one around here. Press 1 for vertex select, select these 2 vertices and press J. Okay, select this vertex, press GG and put it around here, just to make the flow of the vertices a little better. Okay, press Ctrl R and that will add an edge loop here, push it to around here so that we support the top part of the edges to make it sharper, as the pocket in the reference is sharp here and then it's starting to curve out at the bottom of the pocket. So in order to have this sharp edge, we need to support it with another edge loop. What we need to do now is select these 4 faces and extrude them out a bit. So press E and push them like that. Alright, it doesn't really look like the reference, so let's try and match it with the reference a little. Press 1 to go to vertex select, press C for circle select and select these vertices. Press scroll button to remove any unwanted selection. Okay, go to the wireframe and font view and push them up a little until it's matching with the ref. Okay, let's try and make it narrower. So press C, select these as well. Go to wireframe, press S and X and make it narrower like that. Okay, let's try and make sure that it's matching with the right reference as well. So go to the right view, press tab to go to edit mode and wireframe, select the vertices of the bucket and try to match it and maybe even rotate it to match with the reference like that. Okay, let's try and add this part of the cloth, the straps, from this location to this location. So what we need to do is press Shift and right click and add the 3D cursor in this position. Okay, press Shift A and add in a plane. Okay, go to the right view with wireframe and rotate it like that, and also maybe rotate it on the Z axis until it's matching with the orientation of this part of the cloth, and scale it down by pressing S. Try to match it with this part. Maybe scale it up a little until it's matching with the size in the reference. Press Tab and go to edit mode. Select these vertices and try to match them one by one with the start of this track. Press 2 to go to edge select like that, and press E and start matching it with the reference behind. As you can see now, it needs to be pushed out of the body, so I'll do that. Go to the modifiers tab and add in subdivision modifier, and then right click, shade smooth. Go to edit mode, select these vertices, maybe enable proportion editing and move everything out a little bit like that. Because this part of the reference is sharp, so let's add here an edge loop and make this part sharper, and another one around here. Let's select these vertices and push them down a little. Let's try and add the buttons. Press Shift and right click around here. Press Shift A and from mesh select UV sphere. As you can see now, we have a lot of segments and rings. Let's make that a little lower. Maybe lower it down to something like 6, and the rings as well to 6. Scale it down by pressing S. Okay. Press S and maybe scale it on the Y axis until it's flattened out a little like that, and rotate it on the Z axis. Okay. Press right click and shade smooth, then press Tab to go to edit mode. Maybe add an edge loop around here and another one around here. Press 2 for edge select. Select these 4 edges and press Ctrl B to split these edges into 2. Then press E and push them inside like that to make it like a button. Add a subdivision modifier. Press Shift H to isolate this object. Press Tab to go to edit mode. Do the same thing with the back side. Press Ctrl R and add 2 edge loops around here. Then maybe select these 4 faces and try to extrude them out like that, and add an edge loop to support this edge. Okay. Press Alt H to bring everything back. Let's duplicate this object to the part in the back. Press Shift D, then Y. Press Ctrl M to mirror it. Then press Y to mirror it on the Y axis. Then press R, then Z, and rotate it like that. Let's try and add a solidify modifier to this object. Select it, then from the modifiers tab, add in solidify modifier, pull it above the subdivision, and then add in some creases. In the inner, put 0.5, and then in the outer, put 0.5 as well. Maybe apply the scale by pressing Ctrl A and select scale to make the thickness to scale with the object in the viewport. Okay. While we're at it, let's add solidify to this strap as well of the goggles. Add solidify, let's apply scale as well. There is a little detail here in the reference. Let's try and add that very quickly. Press Ctrl R and then with the scroll, make it 2 edge loops. Then press left click and then escape to snap it in the middle. Select one of them by pressing Alt. Make sure that you have proportion editing off. Press GG and push it in the middle a little like that. Okay, make sure that you have clipping enabled in the mirror modifier to make sure that these vertices are clipped to the mirrored part. Press 3, press Alt and hold to select this loop of faces. Now press Alt E and extrude faces along normals. Okay, I think there's a problem here. We need to add an edge loop and make this part sharper a little, and maybe another edge loop to make this part like that. Let's select these vertices and push them up like that. Maybe select these and push them inside the goggles a little. Okay. Let's mirror these straps and these 2 buttons to the other side. So select the strap and add a mirror modifier, push it above the subdivision modifier, and change the mirror object to the body. Select this button and this button, press Ctrl J to make them both one object, add in a mirror modifier, push it above the subdivision, select the mirror object, make it the body. Okay, let's try and model the eyeball inside the goggles. So select these 2 parts and press H to hide them, then select the body, press Tab to go to edit mode, and select face select by pressing 3, and select these 3 faces and delete them. Now go to object mode, apply the mirror modifier, and go back to edit mode, Press 1 for vertex select, Alt and select this loop of vertices, then press E to extrude it out, press Escape to snap it back to its original position, and scale it inwards, like that. Press Shift and right click to put the 3D cursor around here. Press Shift A and add in a sphere. Okay, increase the segments to about 26 and rings about 18. Right click and shade smooth. Maybe go to wireframe and rotate them from the right side like that until the circles are parallel, and scale it down and push it up and put it inside the eye socket like that. Okay. Select the body, select this vertex and push it down a little. Also select this vertex and push it up a little, like that. Okay, select the sphere, then press Shift H to isolate it. Go to the right orthographic and go to wireframe. Let's reset the rotation for now, so press Alt R to reset the rotation, then press R and rotate it by 90 degrees. Press Shift D to duplicate this sphere and scale it up a little, like that. What we are trying to do is model the upper eyelid and the lower eyelid. So the bigger spheres will be the upper eyelid. Let's duplicate it another time for the lower eyelid. Okay, select the two big spheres and rotate them again by 90 degrees, like that. Deselect everything, then select one of them. Press Tab to go to edit mode, then select half of the sphere like that. Then press X and delete the vertices. Okay, press Tab again to go to object mode, select the other big sphere, then press Tab to go to edit mode, select the lower vertices and press X, then vertices. Right now we have two half of spheres. This will be for the upper eyelid and this will be for the lower eyelid. Let's rotate this one like that and the other one like that to make it like it's open. Let's give them a little thickness by adding a solidify modifier. So add in a solidify, apply scale by pressing Ctrl A and maybe make the thickness bigger, or make it around here and scale it down until it's touching with the eyeball itself. Okay, make the same thing for the upper eyelid. To fasten things out, you can select the upper eyelid, then select the lower eyelid, and then press Ctrl L and select modifier. What will that do is it will copy the modifiers from here to the other object. Ctrl L, then modifiers. Let's apply the scale here, Ctrl A, then scale, and maybe scale this one down a little like that. When we rig the model, we will be able to control this eyelid and make the character blink. Let's add in a loop around here and another loop around here so that it's sharp. Press Alt H, okay, select these two parts and hide them. Select the upper eyelid, the lower eyelid, and the eyeball itself. Then go to wireframe and try to rotate them all like that until these lines are parallel to the reference again. Press Alt H to bring everything back. We are almost done. Let's add some hair for this character. So press Shift and right click, press Shift A and add a curve. From curve, add in a path. This will add a single line like that, which is a curve object. Rotate it on the y-axis like that by 90 degrees, then scale it down like that. Maybe push it right here, push it in the middle. Press Tab and select this vertex and try to move it. As you can see, when I move it, it starts to curve out because it's a curve object. Try to model in the shape that you want for the hair strand, like that. Okay, go to the right side and duplicate them several times, like that. And follow the contour of the head. Maybe rotate it a little. Okay, select all the hair strands by holding Shift, like that. Make sure that the last object is the curve itself, then press Ctrl J to make these curves one object, like that. Push them back on the X-axis until they are in the middle, like that. Okay, duplicate them, press Shift D and X and mirror them by pressing Ctrl M, then X, and put them around here. Let's select these two curves and press Ctrl J again to make them one object. Go to this tab and from geometry and in the bevel section, increase the depth to something like 0.03. I think that's enough. Press Tab to go to edit mode, select all these vertices at the end. Okay, maybe push them up a little like that, and then press Alt plus S and that will scale them down and make the hair strand taper at the end, like that. Let's try and look around the model and see if there is anything that needs to be adjusted. Like right here, it needs to match the reference a little. So let's first add back the mirror modifier to the body. Okay, select this object and the body, press Tab, wireframe, select these vertices and push them out like that. Maybe go to the right side and let's take a look. Maybe the shoes needs some adjusting. Select these vertices and push it On the y-axis, press Y 2 times and push it out like that. To finish up the model, I think we need to delete some of the mesh here because we don't need duplicate meshes above each other, as we have the body mesh and then on top of it there is clothes. In order to make the rigging process much easier, let's delete the body that is in the same place of the clothes, as we will not be needing it and it will not be seen in the final result. So press H on the clothes, select the body, then go to edit mode, try to select these vertices and delete them. Okay, press Alt H to get back everything. Okay, as you can see, it's starting to be visible from the clothes. Select the body, press tab to go to edit mode, then wireframe, press Alt and select the last edge loop. Make sure that you have clipping enabled in the mirror modifier and then scale it inside like that. Okay, I think it looks fine and we're ready to move on. We are done with the modeling of the character. Good job on getting this far, and I hope that it was useful. If you want to follow up the rest of the series, where we will texture, rig, and animate the model, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified as soon as a new part is uploaded. Also, please like and share this series with anyone who can benefit from it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next tutorial.